cannot see your dancing. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Good evening. Because, just wave like this a little bit so because it's hard to see a smile. I don't know if you're angry at me or you're happy or whatever. Just all right. Those of you who are happy waves. Those who are not, okay. It's good to be with you tonight. It really is. It's been a rough, 6 months. And I'm sure you really don't want to hear about that because you know how it's been. But through this whole time, I want just to pause and thank God that we're here, that we made it, that we're able to reopen, that we're able to be together. There is a new word today. I'm sure you've heard it. It's called the new norm. Anybody heard this word, the new norm? Well, I don't think really, I haven't heard anyone that use it that know what they're talking about because they don't know what the new norm is. But I kind of have an idea personally myself as the pastor of this ministry and as the founder of the school. And I was talking with the teachers in the last 3 days about this wonderful theme that God gave us for this year before even COVID-19 hit, and it is cultivating peace. So that's that's our theme for this year, and we picked the verse, and the peace of God. See, there's peace with God, and there's the peace of God. Jesus said these words, "My peace I give unto you, not like the world gives unto you." So there is a worldly peace, but it's not the same peace as Jesus gives, as our Lord. What He gives us a peace that passes all understanding. Tonight, this new norm that I'm looking at is, I kind of thought I was going to write a speech and I was going to really impress you and all that, try to impress you anyway, but I thought to have a heart-to-heart talk. I believe the new norm is going backwards, going back to basics, going back to what our grandparents taught us. And this is what my parents taught me. In the time of difficulties, and I've been through times of difficulties, I almost lost my lives in a civil war on Beirut, Lebanon. Was kidnapped, was missiles flying in the air and for months and all that. And one thing that happened, the neighborhood became a real neighborhood. We worked together. And this is what I want to say to all of us tonight. Let us face this challenge together. Together we can do better. Together we could really fight the good fight. Because, no kidding, no one can be able to look at you in the face and say, it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. I think it's going to be a very tough year. I need to be honest. It's going to be very hard and very difficult. But there is nothing impossible to them that believe in God and believe in one another. This is the time that we need to stick together more than ever. Be that good neighbor that God says the first commandment is to love the Lord your God from all your heart and all your mind. But the second one is to love your neighbor as yourself. I am committed to really love you and be here as a pastor if you need a pastor during this time. We need to work together. We need to work together. We need to work together. To work together and face the daily challenges. And let us become helpers to one another. The word help in a dictionary is to make things easier. Some people in the past 40 years of my ministry, they try to help, they make things harder. So, we're very open to suggestions, but let's not be very critical. Let's be patient with one another. We are all going to ride this new wave of these new challenges together for the sake of our children. Amen. Thank you. CCA mission, providing Christ-centered quality education and cultivating the next generation of citizens who will be a transforming influence in the world. I shared the theme with you, 2020. 2021 theme is cultivating peace. Peace. If the world needs anything today, it's peace. and the world does not have peace. But we could discover peace together through the name that is above every name. And lastly, my part is to say, because I am the founder of this wonderful, amazing oasis in the wilderness called Community Christian Academy. This is our 30th year, and we are going to celebrate. We're going to have a 30 years anniversary together, all of us. We're going to celebrate what God has done. I just want to give him all the glory and the honor that I'm able to stand again after a very difficult 6 months, be able to stand right here behind this pulpit and welcome you to the brand new 2021 school year. God bless you all.
Wow, that's so exciting. 30 years ago, I was in 5th grade. Does anybody want to do the math? Don't. You don't have to. We are so excited to welcome you back. Yes, it is going to be a very different year, but it's going to be exciting as we undergo so many changes together. And how many of you are excited for the first day of school? How many of you are ready for your children to go back to school? Not too many of the kids are here, so you can shout and do a cartwheel if you want and cheer for that. Tuesday, September 8th, doors open at 8 a.m., and it is a half day. So if you did not realize that by now, please realize that it's a half day. We dismiss at noon that day, and we will come back the next day for a full day. So just the first day of school is a half day. You have your calendar as well that you were given on the way in, and it tells you all of the other half days throughout the year. The reason why we would take half days in a school year is to have professional development with our teachers and have ongoing training. And then sometimes the Lowell Public Schools have a half day, so we observe most of their calendar when they have half days. So yes, there are more half days throughout the year, and the first day of school is one of them. Now, before you leave tonight, the next slide, please. Please check your student profile. It's on the top of the packet you were given in the gym, and it has your student information. Before you leave tonight, if there's anything that needs to be changed on that personal profile, like a phone number or an email address, especially an email and a phone number, those are important ways that we get in touch with you. If we typed something wrong in there, or if we have an emergency contact that you have now that's not on there. For example, you may have had a family member move to the area right near you, and you want them to be an emergency contact as well. Please add them with a pen, and if you need a pen, there are some at the table in the lobby. But before you leave here tonight, if anything is different, write it in there and leave it right at the top of the table on your way out. And by the way, on your way out tonight, you're going to be leaving this room and you're going to be taking a left out the front doors, and the teachers will be gathering outside if you'd like to chat with them and talk to them a little bit more tonight. And then we'll be welcoming our upper school in here. So that's very important, the student profile. Now we're going to start the majority of this presentation by talking to you about what's new this year. So first of all, some of you are new. So if you're brand new to CCA, could you raise your hand or stand? We want to welcome you especially. Look around, everybody. These are some of your new CCA family members. And we also have some people returning after a few years. We have somebody whose child graduated from 8th grade a couple years ago, and now they're kindergartners coming back. So, Mr. Balaguru, where are you? Wave your hand. Yes, he's right there. So get to know each other, because this is a school family. We use that term a lot. We are a family. Get to know each other, see who lives near you. You may need some help with carpooling. It's all, great. It's so great to be part of a close-knit community so that if you need something, you know who to call. So spend some time outside even, just getting to know each other when we're done here. But I'm going to welcome Mrs. Brouillard, our assistant principal, to start talking to us about some things that are new this year.
Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Mrs. Brouillard. I think I've been here 26, maybe 27 years. So some of you have watched me get older. And others are just looking at me older. So I'm going to talk about drop-off and pick-up procedures, if you want to go to the next slide. As we know, school starts at 8 a.m., and that is when you can bring your child. There is no before daycare. The staff will be stationed outdoors and indoors to receive the K-5 through grade 4 students at the CCA main entrance. That's the entrance that you arrived at tonight. What you will do is you will drive up and we will meet you outside. We'll do a daily health check where we'll ask you, you've been getting these emails with this daily health check. And basically we'll just ask you, did you have any of these problems, any of these symptoms? You'll let us know, and we'll take your child's temperature. And after that, the children will come in. They'll stop and get hand sanitizer right before they enter the building, and they'll go directly to their classroom. There's no longer will they be going to the cafeteria and waiting for their teacher to come. All the teachers will be in the classroom waiting to receive them there, and they'll go there with their backpack, and then they'll receive instructions on how to unpack and get settled in the classroom. During that time, they will be able to sit at their desk and just socialize within that area while they're being seated. I'm not going to go into grade 5 through 8 because you're not grade 5 through 8. We'll talk about that when they come in. So after you drop your child off, you just simply exit the parking lot through the exit. Now, we have an exit and we have an entrance, and it's imperative that you follow. Don't say, oh, no one's around, I'm going to come in the exit, because when we're dismissing, there'll be a line of cars, and we want to just make it follow along very smoothly. So you want to just exit on the Nicolette side for grades K-5 through 4. As I said, the teacher will be in the homeroom. They'll be seated in their designated desk. They'll have that same desk every day, and they can socialize at a moderate noise level. This is not going to be a time for them to get up and run around or anything like that. They're going to be seated there until school starts at 8:20. Now, if your child is tardy, then you will have to, like 8:21, you will have to park and bring your child up to the door. We'll do our screening, our health check screening, and take the temperature, and then you'll have to just leave, and we'll take the child to the classroom. All right, are there any questions with that so far? Does everyone understand? Yes. Okay, I'll get to K-4 in a minute. That's the next. I'm sorry, what? Yes, you'll have to, well, K-4 gets dropped off at 8 o'clock also, but they're at a different entrance. So yes. But you have till 8:20, so you can do the K-4 first and then hop in the line, and okay? And if you do drop someone off in K-4, we don't want you to cut through the line and zip through the parking lot. Just going to have to follow until you can get out of it and go through the exit so they can keep everything orderly. Once again, we do not want you to park your car. Okay, we want to just keep the traffic flowing. Same procedure for pickup. All right, so next slide. Okay, so the end of day comes, and we end at 2:30, all K-5 through 8, and we ask all of the parents to line up in their cars. The same way you drop them off, you're going to line up the same way, just like, that fire lane right up to where the sidewalk is. We don't want you to park. We don't want you to come out. We don't want you to come in and give your kids. What you're going to do is you're going to use that blue card with your child's name on it. Everyone has a blue card. You put that in your dashboard. Actually, you can hold it up and show it to us, because in your dashboard it might get lost. But, just make sure we can see it. And what we're going to do, we'll have walkie-talkies. We'll call into the office, let them know who's there to pick up their child. The teacher will dismiss them, and we'll deliver them to the car. So you do not have to come in. So guess what? When it's cold and it's raining, you won't be standing outside. We will. Okay. So K-5 and to grade 4, the pickup line, like I said, starts at 2:30, right there at the entrance. You have your ID. I think I covered everything here. If someone other than you is coming to pick your child up, first of all, the most important thing would be, like Ms. Najam said, is make sure on that information sheet you are writing down any parents that are allowed to pick up your child. But what you should do is call in the morning and let us know, so-and-so will be picking up my child today. All right? And naturally, they won't have the ID, but they could make one up and just show it to us. We're going to ask them anyway. If they're not a parent, we're going to ask them who they are. They're going to have to show the license. We're going to have the name in the office of the person that you told us is picking them up. We will verify that before the child gets in the car. Are there any questions on anything I just mentioned now? Okay. Next one, K4 drop-off and pickup. So students may arrive at 8 a.m., but no earlier. The staff will be stationed just inside the daycare entrance to receive your child and conduct the daily health assessments. Parents will not be allowed past the second set of doors, which I know will be difficult for the first day of school with K4. But in the long run, it could actually work out better because we'll just take them right in and put them in the class, and it won't be that tug. I know it's difficult, but we have to do it for safety reasons, and I'm sure you all appreciate that we are doing it this way. After dropping off, just simply get in your car and exit out Nicolette Street to the exit, which is into the second parking lot. Make sure you don't just come out the same way trying to get out real quick. K4 students are considered late after 8:20 a.m. So what happens is you must enter through the main school entrance at that time. So you want to come, you want to park, you want to escort your child into the first set of doors. We'll do the health screening and take the temperature, and we'll take them into K4, and then you'll just be able to leave. Any questions about that? All right, next one. Pickup of K4 students. They're going to be picked up by... Oh, there is a question. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, you're going to have to talk really, really, really loud. No, you do. For K4 drop-off, when you pull in the entrance, you're going to park, bring your student, you buzz. We'll let you into that first entrance. There's a table there. There'll be teachers there. They'll do the health screening, take the temperature, and then they will escort your children through the double doors to the classroom where you will leave at that time. Is that, you understood? Good. All right. I'm sorry. Okay, so right now I was just going to talk about pickup time. So at 12 o'clock when it's time to leave, all right, unless they're staying in aftercare. If they're staying in aftercare, then you would just, like for daycare, and let's say it's 4 o'clock, they would buzz you in and bring your child to you. The same goes here. You're going to wait inside the daycare lobby. You'll park and wait inside that little foyer area. You're not allowed past the second set of doors. There'll be a teacher there, and what they'll do is a teacher or an aide will bring your student to you. Okay? We have a camera. We can see who you are. Yes? You can take your mask down to... No, what we are doing is if you have students in the upper level, or you have students in the elementary, or you have students in daycare, you're going to have to just do it 3 times. We do not want the students from upstairs to come downstairs. We want to keep the cohorts, as they would call them, grades together. They're with that grade throughout the day for everything that they do, and it minimizes exposure to too many other children, and it just keeps them safer. We're following the guidelines, and we just feel that's the healthiest way to do it. So yes, in times past, we have allowed upper school students to come down and be picked up at the same time, but it's not, we can't do that right now. It could change. We will change the different things we're doing as we are updated through the CDC, but until then, we're going to start this way. I'm sorry. I know it can be hard, but Yes. Yes, I can see how it would be. Yes. We're all going to be filled with grace. Yes. We're allowing ourselves immense amount of grace as teachers. There's a lot of changes and a lot for all of us too. So believe me, we are definitely going to work together to make this work. And we'll change things if it's not working. Okay, so that's daycare. Daily health assessment. So Community Christian Academy, the next slide please, is committed to providing the safest environment possible for its students and staff. Cooperation by all parties is crucial to ensuring everyone's health and safety. Therefore, please follow the guidelines stated below for daily health assessment. Now, you all received this via email. Did we put it in the packet? And it's also in your packet. So if I were you, I'd just put it on my refrigerator with a magnet or any place that you consider safe. And when your child gets up in the morning, you just go through this list, and as long as this list is fine. Now, you know your child, so you just need to make the right decision. I mean, we know that, like, for instance, during the fall when allergies are happening, a sore throat in the morning could just be allergies, and they're fine, there's no temperature. You know your child. But if they're presenting with quite a few of these, and if they definitely have a fever, do not come to school, all right? And if you have any questions, you can call us, and we will let you know. And finally, lunchtime. Now, this year we're dividing up into 3 lunch times, but the upper grades are going to be eating in their classrooms. K-5 and first, because they do not need to, because they're all in the same age level, we're going to let them have lunch together. They will be separated. There'll only be 4 people at a table. We're going to have them socially, well, we're not calling it socially distancing. We're calling it physical distancing, because we want to socialize, don't we? All right, so we're just going to be physically distanced. When they will wear their masks when they leave the room, and they will sit down in the cafeteria. They'll have numbered seats, and we'll keep the numbers there, and after a while, students will know where they're supposed to sit. But until then, they'll have numbered seats. And they will sit in that seat always for the whole year. And they will take their mask off, and they will leave it where they're eating. They should have a little plastic baggie like we've instructed. And they can eat, and then they'll put it back on, and then they'll file out to recess. Now, we have a whole big procedure in place on who files out first, what door they go out, what door they return in. And then we're going to have designated areas in the whole grass area. We're not going to be using the playground, at least until we feel it's safe. But for now, we're not using the playground. And they're going to just be each grade, like I said, isolated by themselves. They won't be mixing. K-5 and first won't be playing together. And so the lawns will be designated. We'll have signs outside. For every grade, we'll have a section of the lawn where they can run around and have fun. And they will be wearing masks at this time. It is subject to change, but while they're playing. Now, one thing to be noted is that there will be no microwaving, and you are not allowed to send food into the building by Uber or anybody, or even you would not drop it off. So make sure you send your child with their lunch. Make sure they have a napkin, the fork, a plastic fork, spoon. We're not going to have all these supplies. So make sure they come fully equipped, and that way it'll make it easier because we have so many people rotating in and out. And in between each lunch, we are sanitizing the benches and everything. So you can see, you said we needed grace. We need grace. We are going to be cleaning this. It'll be all hands on deck. All the teachers will be helping. So we will be cleaning and making sure everything is clean for the next group that comes in. His kitchen will be offered. You'll probably be getting something in the mail, and through your emails sometime in September to sign up for October. And it'll be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And you will place your order online and pay that way. we'll give you more information as the time comes up. Well, I think there was one more thing I wanted to say about lunch. Oh, yes, that's exactly what I wanted to say. Because this year is different with lunch, we have really, I sent out an urgent request earlier in the week. We really, really need parent volunteers to help during lunchtime. It would start, let's say, around 11:50, and you'd be done by 1:45. And basically, we're just asking if you would help assist a teacher to monitor the students during their eating and during their recess time, help clean up. It's something that right now, because of the way the classes are set up, we're not offering a couple of the electives. As a result of that, some of these teachers are working straight through the day without one prep period, and then they additionally have lunch duty. So we really, really ask that if you're home and you would just be willing to come in for about an hour and a half and help us out, you'd get to say hi to your children. We would just absolutely love it. And so if you know you would absolutely like to do that, you could sign up downstairs in the lobby with Miss Laura. She is our new secretary. Yes, and it doesn't have to be every single day. Maybe you're available on a Monday or a Tuesday, whatever day you're available. Or you might want to volunteer 2 days a week. So I know last year we had several people that volunteered all week. But whatever you can do, even if it's one day, that would really help us out. All right? Okay, smile. I can't see it, but I believe you're doing it. Miss Najum again. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can we appreciate Mrs. Brouillard? Yeah. All right. Oh, I get to take this off when I'm talking. Okay, speaking of masks, the next topic is a big topic. And in your parent handbook, your school handbook, it's a 32-page document. I'm sure you don't want to read it all tonight. But please do read it at some point and take a look at all the our procedures and policies. But on page 22 of your school handbook, it talks about when and where and when will there be breaks. So I'm just going to read word for word. So right now we've decided to follow exactly what the Mass Department of Education and the Department of Health are suggesting, are expecting. And then as things progress, we can make changes, all right? So we can make changes, who knows, in October, in November. Who knows? We'll have to wait to see. But students in K-4 are considered part of our early childhood program. And so we follow guidelines by the Department of Early Childhood Education, which means that they will not wear masks to school or at recess. However, we really have these cute yellow hats that have a little visor that when they're in circle time or center time, we will have them wear them for those times. But then any other time, they are not necessary. Masks are not necessary. Students in K-5 and first grade will not wear masks while seated in the classroom or while in classes where physical distancing can actually happen, like gym and art. The way we are doing gym and art this year is that we are ensuring physical distancing. It's still going to be a lot of fun. And even, for example, sometimes a Spanish class will go outside and have 6 feet apart on mats or on, in hula hoops or something, and they can have their masks off. However, K-5 and first grade will wear them when walking through the hallways and while at recess because physical distancing can't always be possible at that time. So on your supply list, way back in July when we sent them to you, we asked you to prepare a Ziploc bag, and I forgot to bring an example up here, but I'm suggesting the Ziploc bags that have a little opener, not the one that you have to press down, but a little opener. Makes it so much easier for your child. And write their name on their bag with a Sharpie permanent marker. So they're going to be able to take their mask out really quickly, put it on while they're walking in the hallways, and at recess, put it back in, close that seal when they don't need it anymore, okay? Of course, the teachers are going to help make sure that they're keeping them safe and they're not losing them. Some people have been asking, how many masks should we have? As long as they have one a day, that's fine, but then you might want to have another one at home to replace that one every couple days or something, depending on how you as a parent are planning to keep them clean, how often you're planning to keep them clean. So I know of a parent who wants to have their child bring a clean new mask in like on Wednesday, halfway through the week, okay? Then our students in 2nd through 8th grade will wear masks in the hallways, at recess, when lining up, and while during interactive mode. This is going to be in the classroom, what we're calling interactive mode. Their mask break is going to be what we're calling independent mode, which is when they're seated at their own desk and they're doing their own seat work. And certain elective classes when they are 6 feet apart. For example, we've structured our gym classes in a way where they'll be doing their individual workouts around the gym 6 feet apart. They are not going to have to wear a mask while they're sweating and huffing and puffing during a workout, okay? Hey, guess what, though? Your child will be working out this year. They're going to gain some muscles. Okay. Any questions? Yes. The CDC is recommending, yes, they're really urging for cloth masks. And then we do have backups of these in the classroom. So if you're worried, oh my gosh, what's going to happen if my child drops their mask in the toilet? That's not going to happen, first of all, hopefully. But second of all, if it does happen, we have a huge stock of these in the classroom. And we also purchased ones that are in kid size, okay? But those are backups. They're not meant to be relied upon every day. Any other questions about masks? Okay, great. We're very excited to announce that we've hired a school nurse for full-time, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 2:30, Amanda Brouillard. That name sounds familiar, right? She's Mrs. Brouillard's new daughter-in-law, and she's a registered nurse. So she will be here, and our new nurses station is downstairs in Mrs. Brouillard's old office, right by the door that you see down there, and it has its own entrance. So if you do have to come pick up your child, you don't have to go through the main entrance. You can go right to the side door entrance where the nurses station is. We're very excited about that. It's going to be a big help to us this year. We also have hired the services of Citywide of Boston for at least the first 12 weeks of school. They will be here every night later after daycare closes, and they will be sanitizing the school and all high-touch surfaces. And so our school will be germ-free every morning when your kids come back, okay? Next, we have what's called COVID-19 Scenarios and Protocols. That was not given to you tonight. We already are overwhelming you with so much, but we will send this to you as an electronic document. It goes through so many different scenarios, like what happens if someone that you're living with tests positive? What happens with your child and their attendance at school? There's certain protocol to follow. What happens if a teacher, God forbid? What happens if someone in the classroom, a student, okay? It goes through all of those protocols. We won't go through them tonight, but we will say a couple things about it. Number one, we hope that you're all aware of the travel restrictions in Massachusetts right now. So if you do need to go out of state sometime, whether now, soon, or down the road, please keep monitoring what the travel restrictions are. So right now, as it is, there are many, many states where if you travel there and you come back to Massachusetts, you need to either have a negative test within 72 hours of returning or quarantine for 14 days, okay? What happens if you have to quarantine for 14 days? We'll get to that in a minute. The other thing I want to just touch on tonight, and again, please read the document when it comes to you by email, is the definition of a close contact. How many of you are aware of this term, close contact? Okay, so if someone in the classroom tests positive for COVID, then a close contact is considered anyone who is sitting within 6 feet of them for longer than 15 minutes, okay? So it may not necessarily be everyone in the classroom because we have a seating chart. We will only be looking at the people who are within 6 feet of your child or the teacher. And it may not be the teacher because the teacher's not going to be spending longer than 15 minutes close to a child. They're going to be moving around regularly to give every child enough attention, first of all, because that's how we are at CCA. Everyone gets enough attention. And secondly, just for safety reasons. If in case that happens, then close contacts will also have to quarantine or go for a test, okay? And all of this is going to be in your email soon. When you get it, it's going to be called CCA COVID-19 Scenarios and Protocols, okay? Any questions right now? Great. All right, we're moving forward. We talked about volunteers. And then we also are going to have aftercare, but not before care this year. Aftercare till 5:30. And you should have signed up by now if you need it. If you haven't yet, please register. We need to know how many students are staying for aftercare. Bus transportation. This has been changing on a weekly basis in Lowell. So the phone number is there for the bus company. If you need bus transportation, you can call them directly and find out what's happening now because the story changes every 3 days, and I'm not exaggerating. Okay, coming soon. A hands-free water filling station coming soon. We hoped that it would be here by now, but all these things, every single school in Massachusetts is ordering. So you can imagine the back orders and the out-of-stock alerts you get and the disappointment I go through. But anyway, we do have confirmation that they've been shipped, and they're about 3 to 4 weeks out, so they'll be installed as soon as we get them. But in the meantime, the water bubbler is not available to students. That is a might as well call it a germ station, not a bubbler. So in the meantime, please bring 2 water bottles with your child every day so they have enough water throughout the day, okay? All right. We're going to skip the next 2 because they only apply to upper school, but we are excited to let you know that starting with grade 3 and starting on September 23rd, we have a brand new club being introduced here by one of our teachers, Mr. Bailey, and that's a chess club. So if you're interested, look out for the flyers and registration for chess club. Excited about this. And any after-school programs that we decide to have, you'll be notified, and if you are interested, you can sign up. All right, remote learning. I want to touch on this a little bit. So back in July, we offered students who already attend CCA a remote learning option for the first quarter. There are 9 students in our whole school that are taking this right now, this option. Classes will be live streamed to a private Facebook group. So we've looked at all the options. Some of them cost way too much money, and a couple of them were free. But the one that is free and will record and stay there forever, in case your child was absent or sick, they can always go back and watch it, is a private Facebook group. So we decided to do this even though we know some parents don't have Facebook. But if you are doing remote learning, you'll just need to sign up for a Facebook profile and give your child access to the times that they need to be in class, okay? Now, we're going to go over way more details for the remote learning parents this coming Monday evening at 7 p.m. on Zoom. Please check your email. We've sent out the Zoom link. Well, how does this apply to everyone else? So, remember how I said there may be a scenario where your child is quarantined for 14 days or 10 days? There's different scenarios. You can also not have to miss out on learning for 14 days. If your child was not in remote learning program but somehow has to be home, you can also be part of this program. If that happens, we'll reach out to you right away and say, please get onto Facebook. We'll send you an invitation, let's say to Mrs. Black's 2nd grade class. You accept the invitation, and you follow the schedule for reading, for language arts, and for math, and you log in on live every day. We are doing language arts and math for grades 2 through 4, and we're doing every class for grades 5 through 8. We're going live. The cameras are here. We've been testing them all week. It's going well so far with a few glitches, so please be patient. Now, the most important part about this is that we do not start remote learning right away. We start it on Thursday the 10th. So please don't expect to see remote learning happening the first 2 days of school. Okay, any questions? All right, great. The rest I'm going to let you read. You can go right through them, Betsy, one at a time. Give them a couple minutes to read each one. And then I'm going to let you know that if you're a new student, you have what's called a request for records in your packet, and we'd like you to give that back to us so we can contact your old school for their records. If you have not provided us with a birth certificate or a brand new immunization record, please make sure you give that to us as well. Okay, any questions right now? Yes? I can't hear you, sorry. Can you take off your mask for a minute? Oh, okay. So that is a new order from the state of Massachusetts, but there's a lot of people protesting and a lot of people fighting it, and there is a way that you can have a religious exemption. I just personally don't know all the details yet. But I heard that there's a new religious exemption to the order. So he's referring to the order that was recently made for flu vaccine. The state of Massachusetts is trying to require the flu vaccine for every child all the way through college age. Okay? Yes? Yeah. Oh, boy. Do you want to answer that?
There's definitely a lot of crazy things going on YouTube, and my suggestion, stay away from YouTube because it's going to give you more anxiety. But yes, this has becoming a major theological debate because of many religious organizations feel that most of the vaccines coming up could be introduction to the Antichrist. So I think I know where you're coming from. We don't have an official position. We leave it up to the parent. But my suggestion, though, is this. As a religious person, that is something you need to discuss with your pastor and take your pastor's position if you agree with him. And to answer to you, if you have a pastor, your pastor can write a letter and to exempt. There is one thing that many pastors don't know. We are in this nation, praise God, till now, still till now, something that I will tell you. I have refused from the beginning of initiating this school to become state school. We've lost a lot of financial benefits, but thank God that we didn't sign up because that means we are not subject. We are not subject to anything they mandate on us. But we choose what we believe is right. So you have the freedom of choice to not. I wouldn't do it.
Okay, yes. Can you take the mask off for a minute? Nice and loud? Okay. Would you like to come up here and use a microphone? We can't hear you at all. It wasn't helpful. Okay. Yeah, so she's saying her daughter got sick 5 times after taking the flu shot, so it wasn't very helpful in her situation. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 So we do understand that some parents do feel that way, but we're doing our best to follow the state guidelines, and as of now, their research is saying very strongly that at that young age, they have not seen a high transmission rate at all, and we've had our daycare open since July 1st, end of June, and our kids have been so safe and so healthy there really has not been any issues, and they haven't had to wear masks. So you can, as a parent, yes, and we are providing shields on the desk in kindergarten and first grade. Actually, you're going to see a photo slideshow in a minute with desk shields. And then we have these really cute yellow hats with face shields as well that they will wear when they're closer together. Thank you. You can go get them and show them to these wonderful parents. All right. So we're excited. The last thing I'm going to share before our photo tour is that we are going to celebrate our 30th anniversary. And by faith, we're going to declare the date as Saturday, May 1st. And what it'll look like will be determined when we know what our world looks like on May 1st. Okay, but plan to celebrate with us 30 years in Christian education. Amen? Awesome. Since you can't go to the classrooms tonight, we're bringing the classrooms to you. So please take a look. Enjoy this video. I forgot. I'm narrating. This is second grade. I didn't have time to put subtitles. Just took this video, made this video a couple hours ago. Second grade. This is a picture of the Mevo camera that will be helping us to go live. First grade, these are the plastic shields. They're on their desk. They're literally almost invisible. They're amazing. Good choice, Mrs. Freeman. Little couple corners in the first grade area where they will get to read. First grade has 2 teachers this year. We have a welcome video from first grade coming out to you tomorrow morning. So first grade parents, this is the art room. 2 or 4 students at a table, 3 feet apart. Kindergarten, face shields, desk shields. Yes. Looking good. Mrs. Freeman with 2 aides this year, 2 part-time aides. Fourth grade, our class size right now is 10, and so that room will fit them at 3 feet apart. And if we do gain more students, we have plans to knock down a wall and extend the room. Third grade, brand new, new floor, new walls taken down, new smart board, and very excited about the third grade class this year. Miss Bonaventure, you are going to do a great job. This is LA for upstairs, upper school LA. And a great setup for them as well. This is our science lab for upper school. Mrs. Matchnick is our science teacher this year, formerly our third grade teacher. 2 per table in that room. This is our biggest room in the building, and it's the history classroom this year. And Mr. Bailey is teaching history. This is our library. We have removed the bean bags. Well, they're in the corner still. They're going away. Removing the bean bags, having more open space. This is our math classroom. Upstairs also has a brand new smart board. This is pre-K, K4. Looking good. We have 15 students this year. That was all that we could take to have the physical distancing in the room. So we did have to say no to a lot of people this year, unfortunately. But that's our tour. So I hope you enjoyed it. And right back there in Mrs. Rodriguez's hands are the cute little K4 hats. It goes all the way around, zips on. And if there's ever a day when we don't have to have masks anymore, you can zip that right off and just use it as a cute hat. They will have their names in there with permanent marker. So, of course, they will have the same one every time. They're not sharing. Okay? All right. Well, we have to dismiss you because upper school families are coming in soon. Please, let's let the teachers go out first. We're going to meet you on the outside lawn if you'd like to talk to them. You're going to be exiting to the left. There's hand sanitizer at in the lobby. And Pastor's going back there. He'll let you out row by row. So if you could please wait until the teachers exit.